To wave hello. Hello. Love. Oh, it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
That's really nice. Big love. Hi, gorgeous people. Welcome back to the channel. I think I might have started this vlog with just some really random all over the place clips from most of February because I haven't really been filming I haven't really been very good with filming. So anyway, how are you? Reading for me has been at an all-time low. And vlogging has been at an all-time low also. And what do we do with that hair, really? I did some really ridiculous book shopping today, like damage. When I'm a little bit in like a reading rut, I feel like, well, also it's like the consumerist inside me just has that itch to like spend money. I hate that I have that, but I do. And buying books feels like a reasonable thing to spend your money on. Regardless, I'm hoping that this will kind of inspire me to start reading again. Literally, my house is a mess. Won't talk much about them, I'll just show what they are. It's Valentine's Day today, so I got Ohad a gift, like for me also, but for him. This is a coffee table book of Andy Warhol's Polaroids. This is Warhol's Queens. His Polaroids of queer icons, drag queens, trans artists. That is Andy Warhol himself in drag in the back. I just love it, so I thought that it would be a nice gift to give. Okay, I'll go through the books that I got firsthand, and then I'll take you through the ones that I got in the secondhand bookstore. Just was like grabbing and just keeping them in my hands and like wasn't thinking about my reading taste and what I want. Like I was just buying what caught my eye. So The Death of Vivek Oji by Kweke Emezi. You know I love their writing. I loved Freshwater so much. This is another one of their novels. So that one. This one I've been seeing for a while around. This is Daisy Johnson's Sisters. It says Daisy Johnson is the demon offspring of Shirley Jackson and Stephen King. So I guess this is like a freaky book. His Sisters has a hot, dark energy. And it's thin and skinny, and I liked the cover. So maybe if I'm in the mood for something freaky. Then I've been seeing this kind of resurging through the book community. This is Lily King's Writers and Lovers. Never read any Lily King, but Julie from The Linen Librarian, she really speaks highly of Lily King. She really liked her book Euphoria, and yeah, Writers and Lovers is like a big popular one. So I thought, why not get into some Lily King also? This next one is a novel by K. Ming Chang called Bestiary. This is a recommendation from a really, really good friend of mine named Hadassah, and she wrote me like, listen, you have to read this book because she knows I'm a big reader. And I just saw it today and was like, it's meant to be because she just mentioned it to me. 3 generations of Taiwanese American women are haunted by the myths of their homeland in this spellbinding, visceral debut about one family's queer desires, violent impulses, and buried secrets. I did want to read more queer fiction and just queerness, more queerness. So that's great. This last one, seemed really interesting. Lost Children Archive, a novel by Valeria Luiselli. Luiselli looks into the American present as well as its history, into Native American history and the many intersections between American and Mexican history that are and have always been there. This is a road trip novel that transcends the form while also being the perfect American road trip novel for right now. Everyone should read this book. That's blurbed by Tommy Orange, a Native American author that wrote There. It's also blurbed by Claire Louise Bennett, author of Pond. So that just looked really good. And also the cover kind of, it's not normally like the kind of cover I would like, but it kind of just drew me in. And then we went to the used bookstore thinking that, you know, it's a hit or miss. Sometimes you leave with nothing and sometimes you leave with everything. And that is what happened at the used bookstore. What drew me in was that outside on the like a $4 rack or something was Housekeeping by Marilyn Robinson, author of Gilead. As of Rebecca Eats Books, I've really wanted to read something by Marilyn Robinson, and she really loves the Gilead trilogy, but she also speaks really, really highly of Housekeeping, and just the name, the whole vibe of the cover, just, yeah, really excited about this. This pile is full of really good stuff. I saw Passing by Nella Larson, only published in 1929, about a woman who's passing for white and hiding the fact that she's Black from everyone, including her racist husband. So yeah, this I feel like is just a must read. It's like required reading. So I want to read that one. I saw some books by Siri Hustvedt. I don't know how to say that name. Hustvedt. So I think her most famous book is What I Loved. I love the cover of this. Love story with the grip and suspense of a thriller. It makes you ponder human existence with a peculiar mixture of stoicism and wonder. Don't know much about it other than this is also Renee here on YouTube. I'll leave her channel downstairs. She spoke of this author and also about this book. The Summer Without Men. Love the cover. The Sorrows of an American is what it says on the back in big letters. I'll read this just the beginning of this to you. Out of the blue, your husband of 30 years asks you for a pause in your marriage to indulge his infatuation with a young French woman. Do you, A, assume it's a passing affair and play along? B, angrily declare the marriage is over? C, crack up? D, retreat to a safe haven and regroup? That sounds really, really, really good. Okay, fast. Department of Speculation by Jenny Awful. Never read any Jenny Awful. I do own the Kindle version of Weather, which I want to read. But after Lauren Euler was basically making fun of fragmentary Jenny Awful type of writing in her book, Fake Accounts, I wanted to read some fragmentary writing. This caught my eye. I've never heard of this or this author. This is Josephine Hart, The Stillest Day. What got me was first the cover. It kind of looks like, I forget the name of this visual artist. Hart is a poetic, cinematic writer and presents her tale more starkly by stripping it of context. The mundane, claustrophobic stuff of village life also has Jane Austen-like precision. So that sounds really interesting. This says psychological thriller. Interesting. I bought it for poetic and cinematic writing and the cover. Hey guys, I've never read any Rooney. I've been also like on purpose pushing it away because I don't know, too much hype. Ohad bought a while ago the Hebrew version of Conversations with Friends, so I thought we might do what we did with the Moshfegh, do like a reading vlog together where we both read this, and it will be my first Rooney, so let's see. Two more. Grace Paley, I really want to read Enormous Changes at the Last Minute, which also Jessica from Jessica's Book Stack kind of introduced us to, or introduced me to at least. I saw it on her Instagram. And they didn't have that, but they had this, which is called Later the Same Day, which is 17 stories by Grace Paley. These brief eye-blink tales reveal fully formed worlds, full-blown tragedies of love, waste, and death. They burn with a high-energy commitment to the great works of being alive. Sorry for the construction noise. It's just a disaster on my street recently. Last one. I bought this because of Lindsay Glass on Instagram. I've talked about her before. I will leave her Instagram downstairs. But she read a lot of like Westerns last year. And so she really loved, I don't know how to say this author's name, Annie Proulx? LX, let me know how you say that. This is Close Range Wyoming Stories. Includes the story Brokeback Mountain that she wrote, if you're familiar with that movie. Masterful language and fierce love of Wyoming are evident in these breathtaking tales of loneliness, quick violence, and the wrong kinds of love. Each of the stunning portraits in Close Range reveal characters fiercely wrought with precision and grace. These are stories of desperation and unlikely elation, set in a landscape both stark and magnificent by an author writing at the peak of her craft. Really fascinated by Wyoming, that area of the United States. I haven't spent much time there. I have actually been to Jackson Hole in Wyoming. And it was incredible. There for work, and I wanted to stay there for as long as possible. So that's it. That is a ridiculous pile of books. Not allowed to buy any books for a long time. I'll catch up with you guys later. To work later this afternoon, so I should get going with some things I need to do before then. Bye. Good morning, good people of the internet. I should really not look like that. Do you hear that? The people driving on the street are angry today because everybody's favorite activity is to honk at each other. If you think you're gonna get in a car accident, press it. But if you think you're gonna get faster through a red light by pressing it, I don't really know what's going on in there. Obviously, I didn't really get ready yet. I just wanted to talk to you about what I'm reading because I'm so happy about what I'm reading. I mentioned it in the book haul that I filmed that you just saw, that I just was in a reading rut. I think that in January, I just burnt myself out with reading. I just have a really hard time to get connected to something. Like, my attention span is allowing me to like taste different books and like dip in and out, but not to commit to something. I'm really glad that I kind of gave myself the time to find the right thing, because I decided to start with Department of Speculation by Jenny Offal. Jenny Offal is an American writer. For some reason I thought she was British, but she's American. And I'm loving it. Started this, I think yesterday. It's about 177 pages, and I'm on page 115, so a little bit over halfway. On my Instagram, I decided that I'm gonna do like quote dumps. So after I finish a book, I'll post the book, and then maybe on the story or something, and like do a quote dump and just like share all the quotes that I love from the book. So link in downstairs if you want. I think the reason why this book is really working for me right now is because it's in a fragmentary style. Short chapters, kind of broken up into these Fragments is also an epistolary novel, meaning it's written in the form of letters, although I don't know if it's consistently a letter. Sometimes our protagonist is referring or speaking to you, which would be her husband, but then sometimes she's saying my husband and I. And then sometimes she's saying the husband or the wife, which I think would also sometimes refer to herself. Anyway, you guys, I just really love it. I really like fragmentary prose. Like Bluets by Maggie Nelson is one of my favorite books, not only because of what Maggie Nelson is writing about and what she does in that book, but also the form of fragments just really works for me. This is following a marriage, a modern day marriage that it's the wife that is kind of sharing her thoughts and feelings about being in a long-term relationship, being in love. How does love transform over time? And I've just gotten to a section where there's a fracture in the marriage, and she's just kind of dealing with that, her like interior experience of the kind of disintegrating of her relationship. I have to admit that I cried already reading this morning here next to a space heater with my coffee, and I'm just reading it, and like I think that I will just come back and talk to you in like 60 pages when I finish. It deals with a lot of like similar themes to books that I've read or that I read and like to read and have read recently, like parenthood, motherhood, love, relationships. I just like her perspective on it. Something is very tender about her love and relationship with her daughter. It's not overly romanticizing love, partnership, parenthood, but while also portraying it in a really beautiful way, but also challenging way. It's really, really good. Come back to you soon when I finish it. Switch to the camera. Should be a little bit better quality now. Do you want to just say a hello from afar?
Hi, people of the internet. Hello.
Hello. I wanted to just come on here and wrap up my thoughts about Department of Speculation. Enjoyed it so much. I thought it was so well written, beautifully written. I like the fragmentary style a lot. And I really think it's a very interesting portrait of marriage. I don't want to give too much away because even though it's told through different like vignettes and fragments, it does have like an overarching narrative. So I don't want to ruin that for you. I do think that there's a section towards the end where our main character is just dealing with separation, and there's like this brewing quiet rage, I would say. And it was sad, but also funny, so very touching and written really, really beautifully. There is something super funny about it. It was heart-wrenching, but also made me laugh. And I think that if you can do that in a book, then it's really saying something. You can hold those two things at the same time. I think speculation, as it's in the title, there's a lot of speculating about what your partner, your love partner thinks, or what your child thinks, speculating something goes wrong in your marriage. What does the other person feel? Speculating about different ways you could get revenge, different ways you could mend the situation, speculating what your life would look like if you chose something else. Very, very end of the book, I just feel like distills real life really well, in that life is complicated, relationships are complicated, marriage is complicated. I just thought it was so, so good. It is February 16th, and I've only read 2 books this month, but I'm really happy that this was one of them. We are planning for ourselves a really nice dinner. We wanted to make something that we haven't really ever made, so we're gonna dip into this like Sardinian cooking book that I showed you like a long time ago in one of the first vlogs. I'm gonna go edit this vlog. Maybe it'll be up tonight. That's it. Before I end this vlog, I just wanted to share what we're gonna make tonight, and I'm gonna go out now and get the groceries. This fennel gratin, if I can hold both at the same time. Kind of like what you would do with like potatoes, but with fennel. And I think it should be really good. I mean, breadcrumbs, cheese, fennel, cream, what can go wrong? And a fish salad with like a lot of herbs. So thank you so much for watching this vlog, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.